Hi everyone, yes, well, I'm back again, and I think it's time. I have been considering doing this now for some time. It's been a long while since I've done one of these. I haven't done one of these since, sometime before the summer. And the reason why is not because I've not been wanting to do it, because I certainly have been, but I want to do it because now I think it's time. I've had some personal issues sort of over the summer period, which seem to be now coming together. Things are moving forward. So I think if I'm going to bring this back, now is the time. So it's time for Ataku's reactions again. I've missed doing this. It's a lot of fun. So today we're going to be looking at an episode of Power Rangers Wild Force, the Master's Last Stand, which is episode 26. So it's all ready to go. I'm just gonna get some light in the room, a bit more light, and then start the episode. So yes. I have to say, I do love this Wild Force song. This theme song is good. I remember this was 2002. This series came out, and it was pretty good. By all means, no, it definitely wasn't as good as Time Force. Time Force was an excellent season. I think for all age ranges, all fans of the show, because of the dark direction it took. Which made it appeal for the older fans and maybe the adult fans as well. I say this series also took some quite dark edges, but it was a good series nonetheless. So we open up, I think, in the Nexus with there's Master Orb looking at the photograph of himself before he actually became an Org, and he's just removed his false horn.
Taking the Rangers with me.
So now we cut to the desert. This is a desert set we've seen, so many see throughout the series. And yes, there's Jindrax and Toxica muttering to themselves about looking for something.
I remember after the war, it was buried in this desert, hidden in a secret cave.
Maybe your memory's failing you.
My memory is sharper than your blade.
Well, they say that and your looks are the first things to go with age.
I haven't forgotten how to use.
But some people actually look better in age, Jindrax. Get better looking with age, yes.
Why are you looking at my feet?
So Jindrax basically sat down, and then Toxica pulled him off a rock that has a symbol on it, which appears to be what they've been looking for.
This is it.
I can't believe it. We found it. You were right. Come on, let's open it.
So it looks like it's a tomb, a bit like the demon's imprisonment in Lightspeed Rescue. And Toxica's pushed Jindrax down for a bit of fun. And now we cut to the Total Code University, where Alyssa's just come out of class and she's just heard of a news crew reporting that they found a Dr. Adler.
From the Amazon after disappearing over 20 years ago. There's a lot of excitement and commotion around here, folks, as people are very curious as to know what went on. They are bringing the doctor down from the ambulance right now. Dr. Adler, how did you survive all that time in the harsh jungle, sir? What happened to the rest of your body, sir? Dr. Adler. Sir, do you have any comments for the press? People are very curious as to know what went on.
Well?
Cole, they found Dr. Adler. He's alive. What? You know what that means.
If he's still alive.
So, yeah, so this is now just called Cole to let him know that this Dr. Adler has been found. And considering Cole believes he'll know what happened to his parents, Cole is now going to run along to the hospital to talk to him.
I can't wait.
Cole, wait up.
I have to find out what he knows about my parents.
Dr. Cooper, please come to the front desk. You understand that it might not be good news.
I need to know what happened to them. One way or the other.
Dr. Rainey, your tea time is confirmed.
So they've just entered Dr. Adler's hospital room, where he's now standing at the door just as they entered, and he's now locked them in.
Dr. Adler. It's me, Cole Evans. Son of Richard and Elizabeth. Please. Tell me what happened to my parents.
You'll find out. Soon enough.
So yes, it's plainly obvious now who Dr. Adler is, because he's just captured the Rangers using Master Org's ability to produce toxic vines from his body. So now we cut back to the tomb, Windrax and Toxica.
This guy is really powerful and all. This is his house, you know.
Quit climbing around!
Well, he is a clown, Toxica, so that's what he's going to do.
I totally had him. I wasn't here, you know. What do you think?
Now we cut to a old industrial building with a force field around it. So Cole was unconscious, and Dr. Adler walking down the stairs has just woken him up.
Dr. Adler? Why are you doing this? I thought you were my parents' friend.
So yes, Dr. Adler has now revealed himself as Master Org.
Dr. Adler is Master Org. Where are the others?
So Cole's looked behind him to find that now Dr. Adler has used his toxic vines to imprison the other Rangers and is slowly draining their life.
What?
That's right. I finished off your parents. And I enjoyed every single minute of it. They begged me for mercy, so I gave it to them. I ended their worthless existence quickly.
No. How? How could you do something like that?
It was easy. They deserved it after all the pain they caused me.
What are you talking about?
Your parents were once my friends. I trusted them. I dedicated my whole life to our cause.
So now we've cut to a flashback where Master Org is revealing that he was a doctor who worked with Cole's parents, and he has just revealed in fact that it was him who actually destroyed Cole's parents.
But as time passed, I grew to love your mother, and I know she shared my feelings as well.
Dr. Adler,
Things would have been perfect. I have some things I'd like to talk to you about.
but first, look! Richard proposed. Isn't it great?
Except
We're getting married.
your father couldn't bear to see me succeed in anything, even love. So he stole her away from me.
We did it. We got the grant.
He betrayed me. He stole my one and only love.
Well, if Cole's mother really did love you, then why did she just accept Richard, Cole's father's proposal? No. So suppose he promised her wealth.
And fame.
You know, well,
What makes you think you'll find clues to Animaria in the Amazon? Richard?
We have uncovered fairly conclusive data that the key, which will unlock the mystery of Animaria, lies there, somewhere.
How about a picture of the expedition team for the Turtle Cove Times?
so yes, now the press has just taken the actual photograph that both Cole and Master Orc have of them all together. And now we cut to them supposedly in the Amazon. But this is something I think doesn't make much sense, is that Turtle Cove is a city. I know the show is ideally supposed to take place in California, so I don't know how they thought they'd find. So somehow they'd find the clue to how the Animaria existed there. But anyways, what they've just found is the seeds left by the original Master Orc, who was destroyed 3,000 years ago in the Battle of Animaria.
I will destroy it immediately. Just stay back. At that moment, I knew fate had led me to the release from my suffering. I couldn't stand it any longer.
So somehow Dr. Adler was able to recognise them instantly as the remains of the original Master Orc. I'm not sure how. Is that just what they found clues about? Oh well.
I knew that if I were to become Master Orc, there would be nothing that could stand in my way. So
now he's deciding to eat the seeds, and now yes, his partly orc transformation has completed.
I will have my revenge! I was no longer a weak human being. You took the seeds, didn't you? I became Master Orc.
So yes, the first thing he did was basically use his toxic limes to kill Cole's parents, and I know in another episode it did actually show the full flashback of what actually happened, which reveals that somehow, I think Cole's mum managed to get Cole as a baby to the jungle people quickly enough to save him, and then unfortunately Master Orc found his mum and killed her, and then killed her too.
By a friend.
It was my rightful revenge.
Ooh. Master Orc just uses his powers to blast Cole into a pipe. Ouch.
Anyone with heart wouldn't be able to.
Ow!
You're not human. You have no heart.
That's right. I'm an orc now. I'm going to enjoy watching you and your friends suffer. Even more than your parents.
Ooh!
Take a deep breath now. Because it will be your last.
So now we cut back to the tomb.
This is it.
This is it, or this is it.
Stop it!
Sorry.
So Trotska's using her razor-sharp nails to crumble down a door. And they found a statue of a supposed general.
Stop tossing. Or do you need a hand? Careful.
Fallen orcs from long before, give this general life once more!
So now Toxka's used her abilities to bring the General Orc back to life.
Snap out of me, man! Wake up!
Cole, you have to fight him! Cole!
Oh, come on, Cole. Yeah, he's just revealed the truth about your parents and all, but You've got to fight him back.
I swore with my life to protect all of nature. I'm a guardian of the earth!
And now finally Cole springs back to action and he morphs. So Master Org's quite good in combat as well. I suppose he's got that long, that sort of kind of quite baggy costume and he's able to fight quite well. I suppose that's probably due to his org abilities. Ooh. And now Merrick's on his way to help, finally. Coles looks like he's down for the count.
Cole, behind you!
Oh, that's cool. Cole called his Animarian armor to shield himself from the blocks. What exactly took you so long, Merrick? So yes, Merrick has arrived and using his lunar blade to cut the others free.
You are the last reminder of my suffering. You will be destroyed!
Oh! So Master Org's firing an almighty blast at Cole now, and he's using his powers to absorb the blast. I expect the effects look good. And he's deflected it back at him.
Cole! Come on, man, we're here.
And now, so it looks like he's now been reverted back to Dr. Adler. And does he still have his powers? Nope. Can't produce any vines.
Let's go, guys.
Where are you going? Finish me! What? Are you too much of a coward? Why won't you finish me off?
Haven't you learned anything? All that time you spent pursuing revenge. And it only poisoned you. I won't take that back.
Oh, I know ideally Cole's decision not to kill him is the right one, but it's obvious that the decision is going to backfire. So, So now we cut back to the desert, where Dr. Adler, despite his injuries and being severely weakened, he's managed to get to the desert near where the Nexus is. And he's managed to climb up a pretty big cliff as well. He's now climbing up a cliff.
Well. Look who's come crawling back. You two. I am still your master.
We don't take orders from a human.
That's you.
Yeah, so Dr. Jindras and Toxica happen to just be there at the top of the cliff. He caught up quite quickly, I must say. And yes, now the new ducal General Org is revealed in full.
The Org died 3,000 years ago and is never coming back.
Which makes me Mandalore, the most
Yeah, I know that about this General Org Mandalore, who took over as the main antagonists for him during Mr. Raw's absence. He has a female personality and a male personality. So yes, now Mandalok shoved Dr. Adler off the cliff. Oh, and has he survived? Surely it would finish him off after what he's been through. Surely being pushed from about 100 feet cliff would have definitely finished him off.
What really happened to you? You'll be happy to hear that that you were right. Animaria did exist.
Well, technically it kind of still does, doesn't it? Just because it's not sort of on the Earth anymore. It's a floating island, but it does exist. Not that it did. So I don't...
So, in a way, we're continuing your work. You can rest in peace now. It's all over.
No it's not.
I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad.
Oh, so we cut back to the desert and see Dr. Adler's lifeless body. Oh, and a real horn's grown from his head, and his eyes are open. And that's the end. Okay. Right, just before we wrap up, I'll just talk a bit, I think, what I'm aware about that particular episode's production. Yes, as you say, it was somewhat of a dark episode, because that plot about Master Org, you know, betraying his friends, from, you know, becoming the Master Org from, you know, just a human being, and it was his hatred that led him to it. This was a really dark, you know, this was a really dark aspect for this show to follow. But I'm aware that some of the decisions were changed at the last minute, because it was during the production of Wild Force that Saban sold the rights for the Power Rangers to Disney, and I think, because originally I think the idea was, what I heard was that Cole's parents weren't actually supposed to be dead, but it turned out that they were Jin, Drax, and Toxica had been brainwashed, and I think because most of the production of the show had been completed, you know, just in the middle of you know, Disney's purchase of the show, it was too late to incorporate that plot line. So yeah, so you know, it did turn out Cole's parents were dead, but he'd kind of finished their work. And I say it was quite a dark. It was, you know, even though you don't see the full death on screen, you know, you do see kind of how it actually happened, and this was this was quite a dark thing for, you know, a kid's show. I know that the Sentai series, I haven't really seen any of Power Ranger, this series, original material, but yeah, as I say, that was a good episode, and I think, yeah, ultimately the reason why at the end Master Org's powers return is because he'd been turned back to a regular human, but his hatred had was what seemed to keep him going, and it seemed to, you know, anything that was left of his human heart was consumed by it. So he then becomes a full. That's probably why he became a full Org. And it's an episode I've done a fair lot of research on, and I've just recently watched it now. This was I've watched it for some time, so I can do this. Alright, so yes, that was Ataku's Reactions, Power Rangers Wild Force, episode 26, The Master's Last Stand. So, I'll say thanks for watching. It's good to be back to doing this again. So, see you all in the next one. Bye.